What if everything you've been waiting for is already yours? Yes, you heard me right. What if the breakthrough, the abundance, the miracle you've been praying for has already been released in the spiritual realm? And the only thing left is for you to step into it? If you're watching this right now, it's not a coincidence. God brought you here because something powerful is happening in your life at this very moment. You are on the edge of a major shift. But here's the catch. Many people miss their blessings not because God didn't send them, but because they weren't ready to receive them. Before I continue, I want you to take action right now. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment breakthrough below. Why? Because the moment you declare it, you are signaling to heaven that you are ready for what's coming. Before this video ends, you will understand exactly why everything in your life is about to shift. So stay with me. The waiting season is over, and in the next few moments I'm going to show you how to step into the divine abundance that is already yours. Stop for a moment. Think about all the times you prayed, all the nights you cried, all the moments you felt like giving up. And yet you are still here. That is not an accident. It is divine alignment. Many people think that delays mean denial. But the truth is, God's timing is never late. What seemed like silence was actually divine orchestration. You weren't being ignored, you were being prepared. The waiting season wasn't about punishment, it was about positioning you for the abundance that is now unfolding in your life. Look at Joseph. Betrayed, thrown into prison, forgotten. For years it looked like nothing was happening. But when God's moment arrived, he went from a prisoner to the second most powerful man in Egypt, overnight. What if your breakthrough is on the other side of just one more moment of faith? Here's the reality. Some people give up right before their blessing arrives. They walk away because they assume that nothing is changing. But that's not you. You've been chosen. You've endured the storm, and now, God is about to prove his love by releasing exactly what he promised. And here's the most important part. You must be in the right mindset to receive it. If God opened the floodgates today, would you be ready? Because what is coming is bigger than what you asked for. And in the next part, I will reveal why your blessing is more than just money. It's a complete transformation of your life. Many people limit God's prosperity to just finances. But true abundance is so much bigger than money. What good is wealth if you have no peace? What good is success if your spirit is empty? God doesn't want you to just have financial breakthroughs, he wants you to walk in complete abundance. That means wealth in your mind, in your heart, in your relationships, and in your purpose. Look at the blessings of Abraham. He wasn't just rich, he was the father of nations. Solomon didn't just have gold. He had wisdom that brought stability and influence to his kingdom. God doesn't just bless you to elevate your bank account, he blesses you to elevate your destiny. And what's coming into your life right now is more than just money, it's a divine shift. But here's the reality. Many people block their own blessings. They pray for abundance, but deep inside they still think like someone who is struggling. They believe in financial miracles, but they are afraid of wealth. If you don't think you're worthy of abundance, you will reject it even when God places it in your hands. So let me ask you, if you received a financial miracle today, what would you do with it? Would you invest it wisely? Would you use it to expand God's kingdom? Or would you spend it aimlessly waiting for it to run out? God doesn't just want you to have wealth, he wants you to manage it wisely. Because true prosperity is not just about receiving, it's about multiplying. And here's where it gets even deeper. This blessing is not just about you. It's about the generations after you. And in the next part, I will reveal how your breakthrough will create a legacy of wealth that will transform your family forever. Pause for a moment. Think about everything you've been through, the setbacks, the disappointments, the silent seasons where you felt like God wasn't listening. Now, imagine looking back at this moment and realizing that it was the turning point of your life. Here's the truth. Every great blessing comes after a season of testing. Moses wandered the wilderness before leading a nation. David was hunted before he wore the crown. Job lost everything before God restored him with double. The struggles you have faced were not obstacles. They were stepping stones. They were shaping you, refining you, strengthening you for what's coming next. But the enemy wants you to believe that your pain was meaningless, that the waiting was for nothing, that the struggles you endured were just bad luck. But let me tell you something, God wastes nothing. Every tear, every prayer, every moment you kept the faith, it was all seen. And now the reward is on its way. But here's the key. Not everyone makes it to the other side. Some people give up right before their breakthrough arrives. They let discouragement steal what was meant for them. But you're still here. And because you didn't give up, God is about to elevate you in ways you never expected. And here's what's even more powerful. This blessing isn't just about proving your faithfulness. It's about showing the world that God never breaks his promises. In the next part, I will reveal why your success is not just about you. It's about proving to everyone who doubted you that God's hand has been on your life all along. Stay with me, your testimony is about to silence your enemies. Not everyone will step into divine prosperity. Not everyone will experience the fullness of God's blessings. Because the truth is, this promise is not for everyone. It is reserved for those who believed when others doubted, who kept praying when nothing seemed to change, who refused to give up when everything around them said, "Quit." You are not just anyone, you are chosen. And because you have remained faithful, God is about to reward you in ways that will silence your past struggles. Look at the lives of those who were chosen: Abraham, Joseph, Esther. They didn't live ordinary lives. Their journeys were marked by tests, by moments where everything seemed impossible. But because they remained steadfast, God elevated them to positions of unimaginable blessing. You are no different. Your journey has not been in vain. God's promise of prosperity is real and it has your name on it. But the question is, are you ready to step into it? Being chosen doesn't mean life is easy. It means you are set apart. It means your path will require faith when the road ahead is unclear. It means there will be battles, but there will also be victories that others can only dream of. And here's the most important part. When God blesses you, it won't just be for you. It will overflow. Your testimony, your success, your financial breakthrough, it will inspire others to believe in His power. Right now, you might not see the full picture. You might still feel like you're in the process, like the breakthrough is just out of reach. But chosen ones understand something. God does not break His promises. If He said He would bless you, He will. If He said He would prosper you, it's already in motion. Your job is to stay in position, to keep believing, to keep preparing, because when the door opens, it will be bigger than you expected. But what about those who doubted you? Those who said you would never make it? Stay with me, because next I will reveal how God will use your success to silence the voices that spoke against you. Your testimony will be your answer. How many times have people doubted you? How many times have they looked at your struggles and whispered, "Where is their God now?" Let me tell you something powerful. God allows the ridicule because He is setting the stage for your victory. The very people who laughed at you will be the ones forced to witness your breakthrough. Your testimony will silence their doubts. Think about Noah. He built the ark when there was no rain. People mocked him, called him crazy. But when the flood came, they realized the truth. Joseph was ridiculed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and forgotten. But when famine struck, they bowed before him, needing his help. The same God who defended them is defending you. He is about to turn your pain into proof. People mock what they don't understand. They see your process, but they don't see God's promise. They laugh at your struggles because they don't realize you're in preparation. But when the doors open, when the financial breakthrough arrives, when you step into the abundance that God has set aside for you, there will be no more words, only silence. Because success is the loudest response. Here's the key: don't fight back with words. Don't waste your energy trying to prove yourself to those who refuse to see what God is doing. Let your life be the evidence. Keep moving forward, keep trusting, keep building. Because when God elevates you, it will be undeniable. And those who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge His hand over your life. And here's the most powerful part. Your blessing isn't just about proving them wrong. It's about proving that God is faithful. Your financial success, your spiritual growth, your transformation, it is a testimony of His power. Stay with me, because next I will reveal why every financial blessing is not just a reward, but a sign of God's love for you. Every blessing you receive is not just a reward, it is a demonstration of God's love. Your financial breakthrough, your success, your opportunities, none of it is random. It is God proving that He has never left you, never forgotten you, and never abandoned His promises. Look at the miracles of provision in the Bible. When Jesus fed the 5,000, it wasn't just about food, it was a message that God's abundance is limitless. When the widow's oil never ran dry, it wasn't just about survival, it was proof that God sustains His people. And today He is doing the same for you. But here's what you need to understand. God doesn't just give you enough. He gives you more than enough. Because He is not a God of scarcity, He is a God of abundance. And His desire is for you to live in overflow. Not just financially, but in peace, wisdom, and opportunities. That is His nature. He is a giver, and He delights in blessing His children. Maybe you've struggled to believe that you are worthy of these blessings. Maybe life has taught you that abundance is for others but not for you. That is a lie. God's promises are for those who believe, for those who trust in His plan. And if you are watching this right now, it means He has already set aside provision specifically for you. Your responsibility is to receive it, believe it, and walk in it. But why does God give wealth? What is the true purpose of financial blessings? It's not just for personal gain. It's to create a lasting impact, a legacy that will bless generations after you. And in the next part, I will show you exactly how your prosperity is meant to shape the future. Stay with me, your legacy is being written. What if the blessings coming to you are not just for you? What if your breakthrough was designed to break cycles that have existed in your family for generations? God doesn't just bless one person, He blesses bloodlines. When He chooses you for prosperity, He is choosing you to rewrite the story of your family. Your obedience, your faith, your perseverance, it is opening doors that your ancestors could only dream of. Look at Abraham. God didn't just bless him, He blessed his descendants. The covenant of prosperity extended far beyond his lifetime. What you do today, how you manage your blessings, how you steward your wealth, it is planting seeds for those who will come after you. Your children, your grandchildren, and the generations that carry your name will walk in abundance because of the choices you make now. This is why God's blessings require preparation. He is not just handing you wealth, He is entrusting you with a legacy. And legacies require wisdom. How will you use what He gives you? Will you invest in things that will multiply and create lasting change? Will you teach those after you how to walk in faith and prosperity? Or will you allow the wealth to slip through your hands because you weren't ready to manage it? This is why mindset matters. If you are still thinking small, still doubting your worthiness, still operating in fear, you will not be able to hold what God is about to release. He doesn't want you to just receive a blessing. He wants you to become a distributor of blessings. To fund ministries, to build businesses that honor Him, to create opportunities that will lift others out of struggle. This is bigger than just you. And here's the truth, the waiting period was never about delay, it was about development. God has been shaping you so that when this blessing comes, you will know exactly how to handle it. And in the next part, I will reveal why God's timing is always perfect, and why you had to wait until now. Stay with me, your moment is arriving. Have you ever wondered why your breakthrough hasn't come sooner? Why the doors remained closed even though you prayed, fasted, and believed? The answer is simple, God's timing is perfect. Not a second too early, not a moment too late. He was never denying you, He was developing you. Because a blessing given too soon can become a burden. And God does not give blessings that destroy, He gives blessings that multiply. Think of David. Anointed as king, yet sent back to the fields. He had the promise, but the process took years. Why? Because before he could wear the crown, he had to develop the character. The same applies to you. God saw your future and knew that if He gave you the wealth too soon, you might not have been ready to handle it. You might have wasted it, mismanaged it, or even lost yourself in it. But now you are prepared. Waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. It's in the waiting that you learn patience, discipline, and trust. God was not just testing your faith, He was strengthening it. Every closed door, every delay, every moment of frustration, it was all part of His divine plan. Because when the blessing arrives, He doesn't want you to just receive it, He wants you to sustain it. Look around you. Do you see how much stronger you are now? How much wiser? How much more discerning? If God had blessed you 5 years ago, you might not have known what to do with it. But today you are ready. The mindset of lack has been broken. The fear of failure has been destroyed. And now you are stepping into the season you were always meant for. And here's the most powerful part, your wealth is not just for you. There is a purpose behind it, a reason why God is blessing you at this specific time. In the next part, I will show you how your financial blessings are meant to impact lives beyond your own. Stay with me, your wealth carries a divine mission. Wealth without purpose is wasted. God does not bless you just so you can live comfortably, He blesses you so you can become a blessing. Your financial breakthrough is not just about increasing your bank account, it's about increasing your impact. It's about funding God's kingdom, helping those in need, and creating opportunities that will change lives. Because true prosperity isn't measured by what you keep, it's measured by what you give. Look at the great biblical figures who walked in divine wealth. Abraham, Joseph, Solomon. They weren't just rich, they were leaders, builders, and providers. Their wealth wasn't just for themselves, it was a tool for fulfilling God's purpose. Solomon used his resources to build God's temple. Joseph's wealth saved an entire nation from famine. And now, God is positioning you to do the same. Ask yourself this, when God blesses you, what will you do with it? Will you hold on to it out of fear? Or will you trust that the more you give, the more He will pour into your life? Because here's the secret the world doesn't understand, giving multiplies wealth. The more you pour out, the more God refills. You are meant to be a vessel of abundance. This is why your financial blessings are arriving now. Because you have been prepared to handle them wisely. You will no longer think small. You will no longer fear success. You will walk in authority, using what God gives you to elevate others, to build legacies, and to prove to the world that God's favor is real. And here's where it gets even more powerful. You are on the edge of a major breakthrough. The wealth, the opportunities, the abundance, it's all aligning right now. But before you step into it fully, there's one final revelation you need to hear. Stay with me. What I'm about to share next is the key to unlocking everything. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is the final key. You are not waiting for the blessing anymore. The blessing is waiting for you. Everything God promised, everything you have prayed for, everything you have believed for, it's already been released in the spiritual realm. But now it's time for you to step into it. Here's the truth. Many people miss their breakthrough not because God didn't send it, but because they weren't prepared to receive it. They hesitated. They doubted. They waited instead of moving in faith. But you are different. You are chosen. And because of that, your moment is now. This is your activation moment. Right now, wherever you are, I want you to declare, I receive my divine breakthrough. I step into my abundance. I walk in God's promise today. Say it out loud. Because when you speak, the atmosphere shifts. When you declare it, heaven responds. This is not just another message. This is your confirmation. Can you feel it? The shift is happening. What was once delayed is being released. What was blocked is being removed. And what once seemed impossible is now unfolding before you. This is your defining moment. But remember, God blesses those who move in faith. So don't just sit on this revelation. Act on it. Step forward. Walk boldly into the abundance that is already yours. Because this is the season where God's promise over your life is becoming your reality. You were not brought here by accident. You didn't just stumble upon this message. God orchestrated this moment because He knew you needed to hear it. And now the choice is yours. Will you step forward in faith? Will you claim the abundance that is already waiting for you? Or will you let doubt and hesitation hold you back? Listen to me, you were born for something greater. The struggles, the waiting, the tests, they were all preparation for this very moment. God's promise is not a theory. It is real and it is manifesting now. But you must walk in it. Faith requires action. So here's what I want you to do. If you are ready to step into your breakthrough, declare it. Comment I receive it below. Speak it into existence. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you subscribe, because this is just the beginning of what God is about to do in your life. You have been chosen. You have been prepared. And now you are being positioned for greatness. Trust, believe, and watch what happens next.